Okay, website essentials. We need to create your agent profile. Some of you have already done this. You're gonna make sure your MLS ID is in the right spot, your phone number, your bio, and your signature. Let's go over that right now. Here I am in my kvCore dashboard. Okay, you all have this. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go to Web IDX. And again, what we're starting with is the agent profile. And this is just kind of like gonna be your website manager area. But what we're gonna do is focus on the agent profile, which you can find under your login, is usually in your email address at the top right, and then you're gonna go to the drop-down menu and click on My Profile, okay? And in My Profile, now they've updated this. The thing, you have to check back. You have to check back on your website from time to time in this back end area and see what's going on, because kvCore keeps changing things and adding more stuff and moving things around. So you have to kind of make sure you're still good, okay, once in a while. So anyway, so it's gonna bring you to your profile page that's gonna look something like this. And then you're gonna click on Edit. Here in Edit, you're gonna make sure you've got your name and give yourself a title. This is where you're gonna have your MLS ID. This is super, super important. So whatever your MLS ID is, that's going to be able to bring in your specific listings under your name into your kvCore website. Now, it'll still grab your listings, but if you want your website to show my listings, that's how you're going to do it. Okay, a phone number. Your phone number here is important. So what you want to do is make sure that the right phone number that you want shows on the website. So you can have each one of these filled, but you're only going to have one checked. I'm going to go to Search Properties, and the number that's here at the top where it says Call Me Today. Make sure the number that you want to promote as your business phone number shows, okay? And the way, again, that you're going to do that is you're going to just put that number somewhere here. I don't care if they're all filled out, that's fine, but just only have one box checked. Now, something super important. If you have your own personal smart number that you are paying $25 a month for, extra, this is a smart number that is tied to your personal kvCore account only, and you're paying extra for it. That number, it should override, and that's the number that should show up on your website. When you come into EXP and you opt in for your kvCore website, you are assigned a smart number. And where you find that is under Lead Engine. There's a variety of ways to find it, but just to make sure you all know. I'm going to go to Lead Engine and Call Capture. And here, as soon as it loads, it tells me what my smart number is. This is an office smart number. It is not an agent smart number. This means I am not paying for my own smart number. The danger of this smart number is that if somebody calls the number, dials it, it goes in a round robin format. So some other EXP agent in your area, in your region, might get that call and you're not going to. It's supposed to be that if you have that person's phone number in your kvCore account, it's supposed to not go to somebody else. But I don't really trust that. And also new leads obviously are just going to be in a round robin. So you have to be careful about how you promote that number, if you promote it at all in any way. I wouldn't promote it hardly at all in any way. I do promote it for text codes, and we're going to talk about that, but I'm risky. Oh, the other thing I want to say about your phone number is when you come into EXP, you are assigned a Ring Central number. This is like your broker number with a extension that's completely different, has nothing to do with your kvCore account or your smart number, and half the people don't even use theirs. So that's that. Bio. Okay, the other thing, and again, we're just talking about the essential things to make sure your website is functional, okay, and looks okay. All right, so we're going back to your profile again, edit, All right. So I have a bio. Mine's really short. You know, mine could probably stand to be a little bit longer. I probably need to update mine. But you need a bio that just basically says who you are, what you're good at, and, you know, it should not be like a whole like research paper long, but a couple sentences at least, maybe a paragraph. Mine should be a little longer. And then the next thing I want to make sure you have is a signature. And mine looks all funky here, but it's what I did is I created mine in like a signature program and then just pasted it in and it worked. Okay, so anyway, make sure you have a signature, a bio and a signature. And in your signature, just have whatever your state requires. I'm going to recommend you at least have your name, your full name, your title, whether you're a realtor, broker, whatever you want to be, eXp Realty, and a phone number. And if there's something else that your state requires that you have to put in emails, great. Okay, all right. Next, number 2, adding search area pages. So we're going to go back to Web IDX here, and then to the right, you will see it says website content. And here's where it says search areas and SEO. You can click view and edit. What this is referring to is on your kvCore website, at the very bottom, if I scroll down to the bottom of my kvCore website, are all the areas we cover. Okay, these little pages are really cool. If I click on one of these pages, it basically shows me a mini market report that I think looks nice and is nice. It shows you kind of little stats and graphs here. It'll show you the most popular listing, what's getting the most views, the most expensive listing, the least expensive listing, another little graph, you know, neighborhoods in that area that have links too. So these search area pages are designed for search engine optimization. So if somebody types in homes for sale, Cedar Springs, Michigan, maybe my page will come up. Okay, and so that's one reason it's there. These pages, you should know, are not lead generating pages, in that if they open up this page, a lead opens up this page, they're not going to be forced to register unless they click on something and they want to view the details of it, and they click on it to view the pictures. Then it will ask for registration. All you have to do, you cannot add counties, but you in this section, but you can add townships, neighborhoods sometimes, cities, and zip codes. So let me think of a city I haven't added yet. It's going to be tough. I'm going to take Saugatuck. Ooh, I haven't sold in Saugatuck yet, but what the hell? Okay, so I'm going to put Saugatuck in. And then the other thing that you want to do is do keywords. So you could do homes for sale, condos for sale. Maybe you do rentals, maybe you do vacation homes, and you could type in phrases like that. And remember, you have to save it. Every time you add a section, and you have to save. You have to save before you get off the page. Anything that I've already added to this isn't going to show up. So if I've already added Grand Rapids, it's not going to show because I've already added it. Okay? So I recommend you put at least 10 cities that you want to focus on to start, at least 10 zip codes that you want to focus on to start, and try that just to get yourself going. All right? Website settings. All right, this is the weird part. We're going to go back to Web IDX. And now I'm going to click Edit Settings. And here we are. This is basically going to show you all your settings about how basically your website looks and functions. All right. So as I'm scrolling down, the first thing you'll notice is these pictures. Every box that's checked, those are the pictures that will show. I didn't like those pictures. So I uploaded my own pictures, 3 pictures of some listings I had. And so you can do the same. You can choose your own photos. And I actually have a whole bunch of photos that I've created for people that are from free photography that we can use. All you would do is drag it up here and then click upload and make sure it's checked and save it. And ta-da, you're good. Anyway, then you're just gonna scroll down here and you're gonna make sure that these certain toggles are selected or not, because sometimes when you get your kvCore website, sometimes it's just blank and it's just neither yes or no was checked, but your website needs to know what to do, function properly. So I go through here and I do not hide my resources page or my Millions Mapped app. I don't hide my office information. There might be a reason you do that. I don't hide the print flyer button. I don't mandate a phone number. In other words, people that come on my website, as long as if I want to generate that lead, I get at least the email address. I don't require also the phone number. You want to have a website title. So some of you just might have nothing. And so you might this might be blank here. So this is your opportunity to say where you serve. So I'm lucky because I do live in Grand Rapids, and this is eXp Realty Grand Rapids. But I want to tell people I'm all over West Michigan, not just Grand Rapids, but the surrounding areas. So that's your opportunity to say where you go. Where do you actually do business? And then you have this meta description. I view this as like keywords. Find homes for sale in Kent, Ottawa, Barrie, and Newaygo counties at eXp Realty. Okay, something like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just have something. Okay, what's really gonna matter is this website title. Okay, next is whether to ask for unit number and valuation. Sign up for yes in case they have a condo. The rest, I just leave this custom, all this other stuff. We're just gonna leave here. Next, if you want a secondary address, so let's say your state requires that office information, that broker address for your state broker, it has to be on there, and you live in Grand Rapids, Michigan, like I do, but Troy, Michigan, 2 hours away is where your broker is, like me. So what I have done is I just added my business address in addition. So that's added on my footer. So to show you, hopefully it will show up. There it is. So there's my business address. Okay. All right. More on the editing settings. This testimonials thing doesn't work, so don't worry about that. I just add my testimonials manually using the testimonials page in a different section, but we're not going to talk about that. The template, there's 2 templates that you can choose in your website. Most everybody uses Hero. The foundation template is a little archaic and old, and I don't even know how to work that template. So I'm not talking about using that template tonight. I'm only talking about the Hero template. The other thing that you have an option to do is choose any accent color that you want. So for me, this is my color, this turquoise color, or I don't even know what it's called. But if I wanted to change that to purple or any other blue, blue or toasted barley, I could, all right? And I could just save it and see how it looks and go back to it if I don't like it. All right. Then this next, don't worry about this YouTube video. Don't worry about that. Here's some other important things. The chat widget. If you are going to have a chat on your website, you can, using your messenger, your Facebook Messenger ID, which is either your Facebook business name page, if you're using that, or if you want to use your personal Facebook name, you can do that. So there's a spot to put that in. But if you're going to do something fancy like I've done here, I've added this Messenger plugin here that pops up when you come to my page. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hide the chat like I have. But if you don't have that and you just want your basic Facebook Messenger to show up in a normal way, or maybe you don't, I don't know. So choose whether yes or no to hide it. But again, if you have this funky little plugin like I do, make sure you hide it so you don't have both showing up. All right. Next, this is weird. And again, I don't know why sometimes when you get your website, sometimes these aren't, they're both blank. So you have to choose one. So I do not like the full width custom header. So I say no. And I don't like the black color for the header. So I say no. What that means, it just like darkens the image. It darkens the photo. I don't like that. Use the primary color for header. Yes. Hide office name on homepage. No, I've chosen no. Use square agent cover image. No, I have the circle. Hide the agent image on the homepage. No. Use dark background image. No. Use large background image. No. So those are my settings. You can mess with it, save, and then see how it makes your website look. And you can decide on that for yourself. Next is the custom navigation. This is the kind of the way it is. But you can change this stuff if you really want to. Like if you really want this to say search homes because you feel like people are too stupid to understand that that's what that means, then fine. Or if you want to say, you know, get your home value instead of sell, you can. You just have to save it. It's just gonna, you know, take up a lot of room on your website. So it's totally up to you. And there's a variety of different things you can do with adding custom pages, but we're not doing that tonight because I'm just talking about making this thing functional. Okay. There is one thing I want to tell you. There's the We're Hiring link. The way it comes to you is this weird recruiting page, really old school, archaic. It has nothing to do with anything. Recruiting page for EXP. It doesn't, I don't even know what it is. I switched that. Instead of saying We're Hiring, I put Join EXP Realty. And then for my hiring link, it's going to take them to my careers page. Okay, so I did do that. I'm not going to talk about custom pages right now. I don't hide the resources tab. I do hide the finance tab because I'm not working with a lender who's getting leads with me right now. And I don't hide the We're Hiring link. This listing carousel stuff is basically just going to be the way it is. But if you really want to learn how to mess with that, you can go into the support portal. We're not going to talk about that now. We're not going to worry about the Google Analytics. Use agent info for tagline. What that means is here at the top, instead of having your own title, it's going to have your email address and your phone number and your name here in this headline. And so I say no because I want my headline to show. Then this is all the different types of properties you want to show on your website. It used to be that pending didn't show, but I wanted pending properties to show, especially when they're my own listings and they're pending. I want people to know I have listings. They're just pending. So like, for example, if you scroll down mine, these are my listings, but 2 of them are pending and 1 of them just sold. So I had to go. So I want pending listings to show up. That's just me. Okay, you can choose whether you want that or not. And then limit your listing search to the counties your website serves. You can say yes or no, but just if you say yes, make sure EXP Realty, not just kvCore, but EXP Realty knows which counties you want to serve. So that is a thing. So make sure you are in communication with tech support, EXP Realty tech support, in case you choose to choose this, because they're going to want to know, well, what counties do you want to serve? If you only want to serve 3 counties, but there's 10 counties in your MLS, make sure you tell them. Okay. All right. Remove options from search area lists. I just say no for that. Default sort by popularity. And then I like the grid display, not the map. This means when somebody searches and clicks on search, instead of showing a map and just a few listings that people have to scroll down to, it shows this grid like this. So it shows more properties. So it's just, what's the default? So you can have grid is the default, list is the default, and I'll just show you what these look like. That's list or map. Okay, so you're choosing the default for how you want these to show. And I like not the map because, I mean, it's kind of cool, but then what has to happen is like people have to scroll. I don't know. I just want them to see the most properties possible. So I choose grid. All right. There's a couple questions. Eduardo, what section am I viewing all this? If you go to Web IDX, I'm just going to tell you because we're done with this part. So to answer your question, the way that I got to that part, you just choose Web IDX and then click Edit Settings. And that's where I was for that whole part, okay? Double check your lead notifications. Let me see if I can remember how the heck to do this. What you have to do is go to kvCore platform. We are at the Web IDX. I went to the drop down here under my login name. I clicked on lead routing and then I had to click default here. And I had to see what the default rule is. And the rule is that when I get the lead, I'm going to get a text and an email that I got a lead. And it's going to come to me. I'm the recipient. Next, number 5. Again, this is the last thing that you have to do to make sure your website is just functional. All right, just that it's functioning. And that is, we are going to turn on our campaigns. So what you're going to do is go to Marketing Autopilot. And then you're going to go to Smart Campaigns under Start a Campaign. Now, some of you, when you come here, if you're brand new and haven't done Diddly, you will see no campaigns in your library whatsoever. But what you will see is up here, it says System Campaigns and a little drop down. And you will find 2 default seller and buyer campaigns. If they don't automatically come up, you can just type in seller and it'll either say conversion default seller or it'll say conversion default legacy seller or something. So what you're going to do is when you see the one that you want, and we want a default seller campaign and we want a default buyer campaign, I'm going to ask you to start, especially if you're a newbie, start with these 2 basic campaigns because they're low touch. There's only 7 tasks or touches that happen. It's not an overkill, but at least something's happening with your leads. So the first one is conversion default seller. And what you're going to do is you're going to just click add to my library. The other one is conversion default buyer. And it only has 6 touches, and I'm going to add that to my library. Now, you'll notice I just added this. I already have it though. But what I have to do is now I want to make it active. So what I would do is I click this toggle to blue, so then that becomes active. And I want to do that for both campaigns. Okay, so you might just have those 2 campaigns, a buyer campaign and a seller campaign, and that is perfectly fine. Just make sure they are active. Okay, so what I would do is just go like that. And now it's active. Where we found the campaigns, you go to Marketing Autopilot, and then under Marketing Autopilot, Start a Campaign, and then under Start a Campaign, where it says kvCore Library, it should say System Campaigns, and then as the site pops up, you should see a little drop down here of these 22 campaigns. You're going to add the conversion default seller and the conversion default buyer by clicking to add to my library, and then make sure that, and then activate them. Make sure that little toggle is blue, okay?